In this video, I will show you the basics of 3D modeling in Fusion 360. We will create a simple 3D model, but you will learn the most important operations for creating 3D solids. Fusion 360 is a 3D CAD system. In such systems, we often work in such a way that we first create a 2D sketch, and then based on the 2D sketch, we add a solids creation operations. And this is how we will create a 3D model. Create a new project in Fusion 360, and we will start by creating a sketch. Select Create Sketch, and then select the sketch plane. Basic coordinates planes are available: XY plane, XZ plane, and YZ plane. Select the XY plane, just click with the left mouse button, and now select 2-point rectangle and draw a rectangle. Drawing a rectangle involves selecting its two vertices lying on one diagonal and place the first corner at the origin of the coordinate system. Simply move the cursor over the origin of the coordinate system and left-click, and put the second point here. The command to draw a rectangle is still active, and we can draw additional rectangles, but in this case one is enough. Therefore, press Escape to end the rectangle drawing command. This rectangle has no specific dimensions. I can freely change its dimensions by grabbing the line or vertex of the rectangle with the left mouse button. In 3D CAD systems, we usually do this so that the sketch is fully defined. That is, the location and dimensions of the sketch should be specified. In this case, we only have the location of the first corner of the rectangle defined, and this corner is related to the origin of the coordinate system. And we can change the position of other vertices and the dimensions of the rectangle. And to fully define this geometry, you must specify the horizontal and vertical dimensions of the rectangle. We will add dimensions in a moment, but first left-click outside the geometry to deselect all geometries, and to add dimensions, select Sketch Dimension. And now select the line you want to dimension. Select this line, left-click to place dimension and enter 100 mm and press Enter. OK. The dimension command is still active. Select this line, left-click to place dimension here and enter 70 mm and press Enter. Press Escape to end the sketch dimensioning command, and this sketch has turned black, and that means the sketch is fully defined. Based on this sketch, we could create a solid. It would be an ordinary cuboid, but the sketch is correct. It is important that the sketch on the basis of which the 3D solid will be created is a closed geometry. Now we will create 3 circles. Select Center Diameter Circle, and to draw a circle, select the center point of the circle and point located on the circumference, and draw 3 circles in approximately these positions. OK. Now let's determine the dimensions and position of the circles. Press Escape to cancel this command, and these 2 circles will have a diameter of 9 mm, and this one will have a diameter of 8 mm. Left-click outside the geometry to deselect all geometries and select Sketch Dimension, select this circle and enter 9 mm. OK. The dimension command is still active. Select this circle and enter here 8 mm and OK. Press Escape to end the dimensioning command. I intentionally did not dimension this hole. I want to show you one of the constraints. Constraints allow you to specify the relationship between geometries. And now I would like the diameter of this circle to be equal to the diameter of this circle. Of course, we could add a dimension, but in some cases it is better to use constraints. First, click outside the geometry with the left mouse button to make sure that no geometry is selected. And to make both circles have the same diameter, select the equal constraint. Select this circle and this circle and press escape to end this command. And now these two circles have the same diameter. And the advantage of this constraint is that if I now change the diameter of this circle, the diameter of this circle will also change. And to change a dimension, double-click the left mouse button on the dimension you want to change and enter a new value. And as you can see, the diameter of this circle changed as well. Okay, and here we only have two circles, but imagine how much time it can save if you had to change the diameter of, for example, 50 circles. And you can also use this constraint for other geometries, not only for circles. Okay, now I want this circle to be in the middle of this rectangle, and we can do this by entering the appropriate dimensions. Select sketch dimension and select circle and select this edge and enter 50 millimeters here, and select this circle, this edge, and enter 35 millimeters here. And okay, the circle lies in the center of the rectangle, but only until the dimensions of the rectangle do not change. If we change some dimension of the rectangle, the circle will still be at specific distance from the edge, and it will no longer lie in the center of the rectangle. In this case, it is also better to use constraints rather than dimensions. I will remove these dimensions. To remove dimensions, select it and press delete. Okay. Okay, press escape to cancel this command. And this circle is no longer constrained, and I can change its position. And to place the circle in the center of the rectangle, I will create two auxiliary lines. Select line drawing command and draw two lines, something like this. Okay, escape to cancel this command. And now we will place these lines so that this line lies symmetrically between these lines, and so that this line lies symmetrically between these lines. And to do this, we will use a symmetry constraint. Select Symmetry Constraint and select this line, and this line. And now this line is already placed symmetrically between this line, and the symmetry constraint is still active. Select this line, and this line, and now this line lies symmetrically between these lines. Click escape to cancel this command, and at this point these lines are regular sketch lines. We can leave it like that, but we can also change these lines to construction lines. And to do this, select these two lines with the Ctrl key pressed and click this icon. Construction lines are auxiliary sketch lines. Now let's place this circle in the center of the rectangle. We will use construction lines for this and place a circle at the intersection of these lines. We will do this using the coincident constraint. First, left click outside the geometry and select coincident constraint. Select this line and select the center of the circle. And now select this line and select center of the circle. And the circle lies at the intersection of the two lines. That is, the circle lies in the center of the rectangle. Press escape to cancel this command, and now if I change any dimension of the rectangle, the circle will always lie in the center of the rectangle. Now I would like these two circles to be placed at equal distances from this line. This means that the distance of the center of this circle from this line is the same as the distance of the center of this circle from this line. To do this, we will use a symmetry constraint. Select Symmetry Constraint and select the center of this circle and the center of this circle. and this line, and press escape to end this command. And as you can see, the circles are symmetrical about this line. Now let's add the distance between the circles. Select sketch dimension and select this circle and this circle and enter here 40 millimeters. Now select one circle and this line and left click to place the dimension in this place and enter 20 millimeters. Okay, the sketch is fully constrained and we can no longer freely change the dimension and position of the geometry. Now, if we want to change something, we need to edit the dimensions or constraints. Click Finish Sketch to exit Sketch Editing. And if you would like to change something in the sketch, go to the Sketch Editing mode, and to do so, expand the Sketches tab and double-click with the left mouse button on the sketch you want to edit. You can also right-click on the sketch and select Edit Sketch. And now, based on this sketch, we can create a 3D solid, but we will do that in the next part of this tutorial. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to this channel. This supports the growth of this channel.